Welcome to the No Spin News for Thursday, March 21st, 2024. Stand up for your country. Well, millions of Americans want President Biden to be impeached. They want evidence linking him to millions of dollars amassed by his son and brother. That's what millions of Americans want. Maybe you. But millions of Americans don't want that. Those are the Biden supporters. There is no Justice Department investigation into the possibility, the allegation, that Joe Biden took money, tainted money, grifting money from his son and brother. That is not in play. What is in play is interesting, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. So yesterday, yet another impeachment hearing was held. The Oversight Committee, James Comer is the chairman, hauled in Tony Bobulinski and Jason Galanis. Both are former associates, business associates of Hunter Biden. We've heard Bobulinski's story before. He claims that Joe Biden was in on this whole grift. And yesterday, that's what he testified under oath. Galanis is in prison. So, I mean, he's not a factor, let's put it this way. Now, there were supposed to be two other people at the hearing yesterday, the impeachment inquiry, and they were Hunter Biden and Devin Archer, his main business guy. They said, nah, we're not showing up. They were not under subpoena. So they did not commit a crime. And people don't understand that. They were invited to testify and they turned down the invitation. Okay. So there wasn't really anything new in that whole exercise yesterday. There was a little back and forth. Roll the tape.
And 2 days later, Mr. Gilliar sent an email to you, CCing Rob Walker and Hunter Biden, in which he suggested a division of the company and included a proposal of, quote, 10% held by H for the big guy, question mark. You remember that, right?
The infamous email with the big guy? Yes,
yeah.
I do.
Did anyone ever respond to that email?
Yes, they did, numerous times.
Sorry.
Hunter Biden himself did.
Excuse me. You're right.
Well, no, I think that's important because Hunter Biden has claimed that he didn't respond to it, and he responded to it.
You're just going to filibuster. I reclaim my time that's running out, but I will say no one responded to the big guy reference for 10.
Thank you for making my point. They didn't have to respond because they all knew the big guy was Joe Biden.
I reclaim my time.
All right, so on and 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 on. And it doesn't lead anywhere. Here's what we know to be true. And if anybody tells you what I'm about to say is not true, they're lying to you. Hunter Biden and Jim Biden amassed millions of dollars, probably tens of millions. The estimate is up to 30 million, maybe even more than that, from foreign enterprises in China, Ukraine, Russia, and other countries, Kazakhstan. There was no service provided for that money at all that anybody can point to. They just got money. Now, this was beginning when Joe Biden was vice president under Barack Obama. And then it extended after Joe Biden left office. So Hunter and Jim set up this business apparatus that involved Bobulinski, Devin Archer, a whole bunch of other people. And they got money, and they didn't do anything for the money that we can see. That's true. So how could that be accomplished? The only way on earth is people were giving them money to get access to Joe Biden. There's no other way. If Hunter's last name was Shapiro or O'Reilly, he wouldn't have gotten a dime from anybody, right? So that's true. But Joe Biden maybe didn't know the extent of the grift. I suspect he did, but I couldn't prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. I certainly can't prove that he took any money, Joe Biden, not at this point. We know that Hunter and Jim got money from banking records. We know that on Hunter Biden's laptop, 10% was allegedly put aside for the big guy. Now, I'm 6'4", but I didn't get any call from Hunter, so it can't be me. So I think most of us believe the big guy was the father, Joe Biden. But we don't know for sure. All right? This is what I'm talking about. So the House of Representatives, controlled by Republicans, would love to impeach President Biden, just like the Democrats under Nancy Pelosi wanted to impeach Donald Trump. It's the same thing, okay? But this charge of massive grifting is more serious than the ridiculous charges against Trump, which was just phony, made-up charges. But at this point, with the evidence that the House Oversight Committee has, and remember, there is no Justice Department investigation on this. Okay, nothing. Because Merrick Garland's not going to do that. He works for Joe Biden. At this point, all right, the House of Representatives would not vote to impeach Joe Biden. The Republicans would lose. And that would be so embarrassing for the GOP that they're not even going to put it up for a vote. There has to be more. But there isn't more right now in time. Maybe, I don't know, but this goes on and on and on, and we don't have enough. When I say we, it's the country. Because everybody, every American should want to know if Joe Biden took money. But they don't. The Democratic Party doesn't want to know. Obviously, they don't care. Politics transcends. Okay, so we're at the point now where in the next month, something new is going to have to happen or it's all going to go away. Because the Republicans can't keep doing this. It's going to start to hurt them politically. And if it goes away, I don't think there's going to be any effect directly on the vote if it goes away. But there's one thing left. Comer could subpoena Hunter Biden and Devin Archer, but Hunter's the big one, to come in. Now, if Hunter Biden doesn't answer the subpoena, then he gets charged. He'd have to, because Peter Navarro just went to prison for defying a congressional subpoena to testify. He's 4 months in a federal penitentiary. You know the Navarro story. He's an aide to Donald Trump, and he wouldn't testify. So he's in a who's gal, as they say in the Cagney movies. Okay. Now, Hunter Biden, if he doesn't show up, what are they going to? Now, that would hurt Trump, Biden. Oh, would that hurt him? If his son didn't show up, didn't answer the subpoena, and Merrick Garland didn't charge him, that's over-the-top corruption. So I expect that to happen. I expect Hunter Biden to be subpoenaed and Devin Archer, in a lesser capacity. That's the only thing that's left. Now, when Hunter Biden comes in there, he's not going to say anything. He's not going to say he gave his father any money. But they might be able to catch him. And, it would be, if the Republicans believe that Joe Biden took money, some of them do. I'm a due process guy. All right? So I believe that he enabled it, as I said, that he contributed to the grift, Joe Biden did. But I don't know whether he got direct money. So some of you will say, I saw it on TV the other night, they showed his 4 houses, Biden's 4. Biden got $9 million to write his book. All right, so his money flow was pretty good because he gave speeches for hundreds of thousands of dollars on boards. These guys all make money when they leave office. And that's a memo. All right, so Joe Biden for the 3rd consecutive day has done nothing for the people of the United States. Nothing. All right, he's just raising money, runs around. I was on the Clay and Buck radio program today, and I basically said our analysis here at the No Spin News is that Biden works about 30% of the time for us. The other 70%, he's not doing anything or he's out raising money. I mean, that's shocking. Warren Harding was lazy. Where do you hear about Warren Harding in my upcoming book, Confronting the President? He was terrible. But even he worked more than Joe Biden. It's like Barack Obama and Donald Trump worked crazy hours. Both of them. Biden didn't do anything. Okay. But he did cancel $6 billion in student debt for 78,000 federal workers. And he has the authority to do that. A lot of people don't understand. The Supreme Court ruled that Joe Biden cannot forgive debt in the private sector. So say you borrowed money from Chase Bank to put yourself through school. Well, Biden can't do anything. But if you work for the federal government, there is a public service loan forgiveness program. And it was signed into law by George W. Bush in 2007. So if you work for the feds, it's kind of like the Army, all right? If you work 10 years, then your debts are forgiven, your educational debts. And that's what Biden's doing. He's within the law to do it. But here's the rub. It's $144 billion just today. Well, that's got to be paid. Now, the federal workers aren't going to pay it. You're going to pay it. I'm going to pay it. The taxpayers have to pay it. And of course, they're not going to pay it because we're in such a deficit that it'll just be added on to the debt. And Joe Biden doesn't care how much debt the country carries. He doesn't care. His new budget is $77 trillion. It's laughable. I mean, it's just insane. But he didn't care. If the whole country goes over the cliff, he'll be dead by that time. Sorting through your expense tracking, estimated payments, and all those tax deductions can be overwhelming. It might even lead to a failure to file and failure to pay penalties that pile up on your tax debt. The attorneys at Tax Network USA have been lifesavers for many. Their team has successfully saved clients over $1 billion in tax debt. Whether you're in the hole for $10,000 or starting at a $10 million debt, they are ready to help you. The expert attorneys and tax professionals at Tax Network USA are equipped to secure the best settlement for you and help you resolve all tax cases. So please go to tnusa.com/bill, or you can call 1-800-245-6000. These tax debt relief programs are expected to change, so get to them now. Visit tnusa.com/bill or call 800-245-6000. Tell them O'Reilly sent you. Let's go to the mail. We got George, the concierge member. We encourage you to upgrade if you are a BillO'Reilly.com premium member, which is a good thing. Upgrade to concierge. Get a free book. All right. So I have mixed feelings about helping Ukraine, primarily because I don't believe we are getting anything that passes for valid information about what's going on over there. Well, the U.S. intel services do. All right. So the CIA and the NSA, they know what's going on over there. And you got to have a little bit of trust in the federal government to say, this is the situation. So I don't have a beef with that. I know it's a growing controversial issue among the right, conservative Americans. Jeff Kaufman, Driftwood, Texas. I disagree with funding Ukraine. It is the most corrupt country in Europe, and our funding has gone unchecked. Until our government begins talks of peace and a settlement between the two countries, Ukraine shouldn't get a dime. So, Jeff, how would you go about getting peace and talks when Putin refuses to do that? Can't. And if you let Ukraine go down, as we've said 10 million times, you can kiss Taiwan goodbye, Moldova goodbye, just on and on and on and on. And what that will do is it will come to your house in Driftwood, Texas, and it will hurt you economically big time. Cause and effect, unintended consequences. Lisa, concierge member, thank you, Lisa. Senator Schumer is not against Israel, but against conservative government there. It was elected government, Lisa. Israeli people elected the government. We have no right to call for its overthrow. No right at all. David, concierge member, I believe the 9 House Republicans who voted against the resolution to condemn Putin for kidnapping Ukrainian children did so because of their dislike of Speaker Mike Johnson. Well, if that's true, and I certainly don't know if it is, that's despicable. You stick up for the kids. Jim, concierge member, and all of these concierge members are by accident. I didn't seek them out, but they had good questions. Bill, what would have to change in terms of process of law to restrict a single loon judge from reversing rulings, sometimes from the highest court? How can a single judge in New Orleans stop Texas from detaining migrants? It wasn't a single judge. It was a federal court of appeals based in New Orleans with 3 judges. Supreme Court kicked it back to them. They put a stay on the Texas law, so it stops cold. That'll be appealed. The judges in New Orleans, the 3-judge appeals court, will rule. And if they rule against Texas, Texas then will file, and it'll go back to the Supreme Court. It's a little complicated, but you have to go through the stair step to get to the Supremes. Les Hartsfield, Camas, Washington. Why aren't the NGOs who are aiding and abetting illegals and defying immigration laws being sued? Because the federal government is funding many of those NGOs. They're doing humanitarian work. What are you going to sue them on? Federal government's sending them money to house and feed migrants. So that's what the situation is. George Pivarnik, Las Vegas, when do schools stop teaching history? My neighbor's kid is in the 9th grade, does not know who Benjamin Franklin is. The collapse of the public school system began about 20 years ago, 2004. It's due to a variety of subjects. Woke, of course. You say something about history that some kid runs home and you're in trouble. Laziness, there's a whole bunch of reasons. But the kid's in 9th grade and doesn't know who Benjamin Franklin is. I guess he's never looked at a $50 bill. Cindy McDaniel, Picayune, Mississippi. Several weeks ago, you had a segment of places you would not visit. Our daughter is an RN, wants to take a trip to Honduras. Now, this is usually for concierge members only, Cindy. Okay? But because it's your daughter and she is an RN, I'm going to make an exception for you. Usually, if you have a travel question, a safety question, any of that pertaining to family members, your concierge, you write to me directly, I write back. But I'm going to do Cindy a solid. Do not go to Honduras. It's dangerous. No one in charge. You get in trouble, you're hosed. All right, but I want you to go to BillO'Reilly.com store and pick up the self-reliance mugs. I want you to be self-reliant. I want you to be smart. I want you to be successful. I want you to be healthy. All of that comes back to self-reliance. Run your own show. Give this mug to younger people. Self-reliance. One of the most important things in life. And then while you're there, pre-order Confronting the Presidents. Be out September 10th. You will love the book. Killing the Witches, by the way, still doing great. And that's 6 months now in a marketplace. So it's all there. Word of the day, do not be bilious. I used this word about 3 weeks ago. I love this word. Hey, stop being bilious. And everybody, B-I-L-I-O-U-S, simple word. Bilious, don't be that. Look it up. Back with the final thought in a moment. It is not too late to make the right choice. If you're distancing yourself from companies supporting the radical left, please choose AMAC's Medicare Advisory Service. Whether it's prescription drug coverage, plan changes, exploring Medicare options, AMAC provides top-notch guidance from their experienced staff. Upholding pro-America values, AMAC has been helping people navigate Medicare for years. Their services are not only free of charge, but also free from any leftist agenda or corporate influence. Amex stands as the conservative alternative to the AARP, earning its position as the #1 group for freedom-loving individuals. So make the right choice for your health and values with Amex. Choices do matter, and the choice is yours. Choose Medicare the right way with Amex Medicare Advisory Service. You can call them at 888-355-5605 during normal business hours, 888-355-5605, or online at amac.us/trust. That's amac.us/TRUST. amac.us/trust. Are you tired of feeling like a soggy sack of potatoes? Wow. I may just have the solution for you. Native Path Collagen. It's like a secret weapon for your body. Their collagen is packed with all the essential amino acids your body needs to build and repair your muscles, joints, and even regrow cartilage. Say goodbye to bone-on-bone pain. Just a scoop a day of this magic powder mixed into your favorite beverage or recipe, and you'll be on your way to stronger bones, healthier joints, and glowing skin that will really impress you. Please visit nativepath.com right now. Grab yourself a tub of this collagen goodness. Trust me, you will thank me. Simply visit getnativepath.com/Bill for up to 45% off today. Okay, as a final thought of the day, as I mentioned, I was on NewsNation with Dr. Phil and Chris Cuomo last night, and out of nowhere, Dr. Phil said this. Go.
Hey, I couldn't have thought of a better guest to spend the time with, so this worked out perfectly. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And people listen to Bill O'Reilly. He is a wise historian, I can tell you for sure. I'm a fan.
Oh, boy, Dr. Phil. Boy, I don't know why you had to do that to me right now that I'm going through it. Dr. Phil, thank you very much. All right, Bill O'Reilly is up right now. Post-endorsement from Dr. Phil, because he needed that.
I had no idea that Phil was going to say that, and I really appreciate it. We had him on a couple of weeks ago for his book, and his book's good. So, check that out on Amazon or wherever. And, what we do here, I don't know if you've ever thought about it, is we are combining, for the first time in television news history, it's never been done before, reporting with history. So I am a journalist/historian. So what I do is I look at a problem, all right, a policy, a situation, and then I say, what did we do in the past on these things? Because almost everything that's coming at us now has in the past come at us. And sometimes we got out of it. Sometimes we didn't, okay? But to have that knowledge assembled takes my commentary to a level, and I hate this, let's take it to a higher level. Let's get, all that cliche business, but this is true. So I'm looking at it from, okay, my first job is to get you the truth. Like I told you at the Talking Points Memo at the top of the broadcast. Right now, there's not enough evidence to even refer Joe Biden to the Senate for impeachment. They don't have it. That's the truth. Maybe they'll get it. Don't have it now. Okay? And then I look back about the evidence against Trump, which was non-existent. In both impeachments, there was no evidence there. It was just a farce. The Republicans want to do that? It's up to them. So I bring history into modern reporting. And Phil is smart enough to know that. And that's why he said what he said, and we appreciate it. Thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. I'll have a brand new column on Sunday, so please check in with BillO'Reilly.com, and we'll see you again on Monday. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.